It is Sirius Joy live, alive tonight with Scott Cruz, psychic medium. We're going to be talking about all the stars going on. We're going to be talking about the events in the world and in the air, and we're going to read your questions live here on the air. So stick with us. It's going to be a fun show with one of my best friends, Scott Cruz. We'll see you inside.
Since 1995, Sichi has infused every product with love. Our star is Sichi Cream, made with kombucha tea, organic and wild-crafted herbs, and essential oils. Its fresh citrus scent appeals to both men and women. Age gracefully with our rehydrating facial serum. Made with organic sea buckthorn berry extract, giving your face a healthy glow. Your skin will love you. Scan the QR code on your screen now for 20% off with promo code LOL.
You started your business for freedom, but somewhere along the way, it turned into chaos. You're trying to fit your unique vision into someone else's blueprint, and it's leaving you feeling overwhelmed and second-guessing your every move. That's exactly why we created From Chaos to Clarity, your 12-week live business intensive. We give you the courage to claim your voice, the clarity to build your unique framework, and the conviction to lead your business your way. You'll get live power hours to hone your strategy and weekly accountability sprints to make sure the work actually gets done. Stop following, start building. You don't need to do it all alone. Clarity is closer than you think.
Hello, friends. Welcome to Sirius Joy Live. I'm Sensei Christopher Witecki. This is our live broadcast. We're doing 5 days a week. This week, trying at 5 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. We're just playing around the time to see what works well in the YouTube world and the algorithms of social media. So thanks for rolling with us. We'll have some decisions here soon. I'm excited. One of my best friends in the world, Scott Cruz, is here today. You may know us already from LOL, where we play around on, it was Wednesday nights. We moved to Saturday nights, by the way. You can catch us taping on Wednesdays, but we moved it to Saturday. It's so much better on Saturday, I think. If you watch it, we had a lot of views. People showed up. It was incredible. We'll talk about that today. And Scott has the magic power of seeing through space-time. He talks to dead people. He talks to rocks. He talks to everything. Goes through time. One of the most gifted, talented, actually, readers I've ever met, frankly. Just crazy, crazy talent. And I've known him for many lifetimes, too. So it's a good thing to have him on. And we'd like to say, hey, would you like to have a reading with Scott, myself? It's Tag Team Reading Day, Tag Team Tuesday. So we'll both be working to answer your questions. If you want to buy a question, you can go simply to SiriusJoy.shop, SiriusJoy.shop, where you'll see a variety of options there. I understand that we have a couple of slots left, so please come on down, take advantage of this amazing moment. Scott and I will help you only the way we know how to help you. And this is actually something people don't see in LOL very often because we're so caught up in politics. And I also want to say thank you to everyone who's been showing up, helping us, our crew at Sirius Joy, our staff. You all been wonderful. We've kind of thrown this together very quickly because we had to break the bonds of the algorithm we were stuck in and entrapped and enslaved by, the YouTube algorithm of shadow banning. And I don't know, we'll see how it turns out, but we're grateful. It feels good to be on the air every day, actually. It feels really good. I needed it, frankly. I needed something steady that happened every day at the same time. It's something I needed. I'm just not a guy that, I'm a Midwesterner. I'm used to getting up at the same time, doing things. Routine is like the one thing that keeps me sane. and I haven't had routine in years. So this has been wonderful for me in lots of ways too. I hope it's been wonderful for you. It's been nice to hang out while you're cooking dinner, while you're stuck in that commute home, whatever you're doing. It's nice to see you. Nice to be a part of your life. So why don't we move on to, the highlight of the day? Let me bring out my good friend here, Mr. Scott Cruz. Mr. Scotty.
Mr. Scott. A lot of people who like call customer service, they say Mr. Scott. I'm like, it's Mr. Cruz. Mr. Cruz. How's it going, Christopher?
Good,
I love this.
I like that color. You look good in that color. I think we don't get to see. I mean, we have green screen on usually, so I can only wear green when we wear some other part of the house, right?
I can wear green. I know.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
How are you? How's the energy been for you? I'm just curious. I mean, we'll talk about it on our show this week, but it's been.
And I just said it's nice being a guest instead of a host. Sometimes, it's nice to take a break from hosting my show, LOL. So it's good to be a guest. But, the energy's been, I always say energetic constipation, and there's a tenseness right now, like with me, but I feel like collectively it's unspoken tension, and I feel like there people might just be feeling that, and like I feel irritable for no reason. So I just feel like there's like about to be this kind of burst of energy soon, especially this year where the inspiration flows, the innovation flows, all that great stuff. So it's like there's a little bit of like angst energy and antsy energy and also edgy energy that's kind of happening right now. So my advice to people is like just like find ways to kind of soothe it a little bit. If you're getting irritable, just like sit down and chill out. And I think right now is a good time to kind of just mind ourselves when we need to take those breaks.
Preparation H. I understand. It works really well. That's what it feels like. I mean, oh my God. I thought if it was the end of the year, kind of race up to finish the year, and I thought it was New Year's, and I thought, it's the beginning start of the year, and it's like, no, you're right. This tension isn't stopping. It's not stopping. And so now I'm like, okay, we need a new way to approach it, or I need a new way to approach it, because it seems like never ending. And then, I don't know, we'll talk about this, but, it seems like things are heating up globally, to some degree too. So that's, fun. What about with clients? Are you seeing, did people have resolution last year, or people left hanging? Did you find with clients and personal reasons?
Well, I've been beating the resolution thing out of my clients. I've been saying, stop this new year, new you. Like, what's your next chapter? What's the next chess move, right? Because we tend to like try to like leap so far out, and then we self-sabotage and like, I can't do that big leap. It's like we got to stop with the big leaps and say, what's our continuation? So I've seen a lot of my clients, and I've been helping them, mentor them with their continuation of their evolution. And so I've seen a lot of people break away of abusive relationships, healing with grief. Of course, mediumship definitely helps part of that grief process. Of course, there's more work to do, but I've been seeing a lot of those breakthroughs, and a lot of what I've been reading collectively, I've then been seeing that individually with my clients' lives, and so it's a blessing and a reminder for me to see like, we all definitely are in a collective, and the astrological currents that we're following is, hey, there's something to that, and it's a great guide point for a lot of us, great blueprint, and so that's why I'm glad when I met you got me into the astrology more, and it's a wonderful blueprint to work with, that and psychic ability. So, a lot of changes.
Nice to have the backup. It's nice to have the backup too with a friend who, says I'm picking up on that too. Like, it's like, phew, because
Here's why, right?
There's so much personal stuff too. I mean, I didn't, it seems like it's always the case with me, but I mean, this year was just so much personal stuff I wrapped up of my own crap. So I really had a hard time remaining objective. Like, is everyone going through this? It's like, my God, the toilet paper bill is outrageous. All the stuff is coming out. Like, it's just been crazy. But I think I'm done. I've lost 150 pounds. I feel like it's over. I actually do feel like, I just started feeling like the plane kind of take higher altitude maybe in the last 2 days. It feels like, we're like this part of Capricorn, we're still like, in the jungle, but we're starting to hover now. And there's a new moon coming up this next weekend, following weekend. I have a feeling that that's going to be, I'm talking about the week from now, but that's going to be the final cherry on top. And then who knows? I mean, what are you picking up on your third eye as far as, let's say, Aquarius, your birthday time? Because Aquarius is kind of, a big question mark, right? Because Pluto's in there, and the Aquas are suddenly being nice and stuff. Like, it's weird. And
you always say that we're always nice. We just are.
As you sound, no, you always are nice. It was a sharp nice, but it was nice. No, but I mean, Aquas. No, I mean, honestly, Aquas have blown my mind. As far as if they're just so stuck on their ways until now. Like, they're not. Like, I've seen you've changed too. You really have. I mean,
I've the vulnerability part has been a huge for me, I would say, since, Pluto entered Aquarius, like so very vulnerable. Like usually if I'm to that for myself, but I've been very vulnerable with others more so and transparent about, and I feel like, I want to show people, especially my clients, I'm human too. Like, I get pissed off, I get edgy, things trigger me too. Like we're all works in progress. But, I think for me, the mentorship is I can call it out and shape it. Right. So, but Age of Aquarius for me has been very much about the vulnerability. And so I think coming February, late January, February, of course, I just feel like a lot more innovation, a lot more sparks of inspiration because, I did my last week I did on my show, 2026 predictions and did global predictions, and 2 already came to pass already. Wow. And so, but I've been saying it's a year of innovation, year of discovery, a year of, finding one's place. So that's collectively, but also individually. So a lot of people will start finding their place with community. I can't tell you how many reads I've had where 3 of Pentacles comes out, like community, people finding new communities. And so I really feel like 2026 might be the starting point for us really feeling like coming together, or at least finding our tribe. So 2026 feels a lighter, there's gonna be, of course, chaos like going on. There always will be globally in a sense, but like as collectively the energy feels like lighter than the past 5 years. Totally. And what's funny, because I feel like when I read auras of years, because like I'll see a year and it gives me an aura, like between 2019 and 2025 was this like maroon brick colored red aura, very fiery, dense, right, heavy energy. 2026 is almost like this color I'm wearing today. It's like a lighter green with a yellow tint and baby blue. It feels lighter, like inspiration and all that. So I think we'll all feel that beginning of that momentum,
It's interesting. Well, I feel like, whenever I think to the future, I feel to the future. I felt doom. I felt gloom. I felt all this stuff. And we're talking pre-COVID, so I might have felt COVID. I might have felt that whole period because that was a dark period, man. Yeah. As far as I'm concerned, as far as, moments where I was like, oh my God, we're in Soviet Russia, like just things are shutting down. But it all came full circle. Like, oh, just kidding, kind of thing, which is great. But now that we're in the 26, when I look in the future, I do feel it being light. And it's hard for me to like believe that. Like, right. Oh, come on,
I know.
It's gonna be a doomsday. Come on, yeah. It's not a happy ending. Come on, really? Like I can't believe it, but my gut, everything that's psychic in me is like, nope, it's gonna be happy. And happy and joyful. I'm like, what? So I feel that too. Although 2026 does feel weird, like
can
weird.
be.
Yeah, like I don't know how to describe. I don't have any good analogy for it, but just going off on a weird tangent. I don't know. I think it may be onto itself its own thing. Like, I don't think it represents the future either. I think we're about to go into some sort of zone that we're going to just have to go through, and then it'll be over. That's what it feels like. Like, it won't be the break of the next new era. It's going to be like a weird thing, like maybe like going through a time warp. You go through this thing, you have flashbacks, and your nose is bleeding, and then boom, you're in a new world or something,
Well, yeah, and I was questioning because I never really wanted to be on social media and do this stuff until, Spirit called me a couple of years, like, you got to do this. And I understand why, because I'm really passionate about getting people to tap into their psychic abilities, right? And find their intuition and really pushing for that, because look at the age we're in right now. With AI and everything kind of fake and all that, we need to have discernment. We need to be more intuitive. That's the one tool that we will have that will have us thrive moving forward during this timing is our intuition and our psychic ability to read through things. We're going to need that desperately. And that's the thing that's going to set things off from what's going on with AI and everything with the government in our world is psychic ability. And of course, people are relying more on intuitives, astrologers, psychics, and because they're not getting from their doctors, or the therapist has a little bit of a wall, they can't go deeper. And so now I understand why Spirit has called me, because I'm like, I understand, I do want to participate in that. And I do want to be there in 2029. I got this from Spirit. I said, when is like psychic ability going to be confirmed? They're like 2029. I'm like, okay, good. It's still around the corner, still a little ways, but I feel like in 2029, they will be certain that psychic ability is actually a real thing and it can be now proven. So that will give us a lot of legitimacy, in our space.
That's interesting. I mean, for me, actually, I'm a little different than you. I'm like, I'm glad no one believes in it. It's mine. That's right. Like a secret, But I've had so many affirmations in my life. I mean, my life has given me, like, rock falling on your head proof that I cannot deny by any means. When I tell people the stories, they just can't believe that it was a story. They do believe it. Yeah. They read my vibration. But it's like to the point where I'm just like, none of this shit's real. Like none of this, that we've been told is real. It's really pretty incredible. And I think we're the hair fraction of it, because it's kind of fun to see other people get excited. You and I have seen this stuff for years, and it's like when you see a person who's never even known this exists and whatnot, and their eyes wide open, it's kind of a little bit of a vicarious thrill. To see everyone excited.
I was saying, when someone's like sees something, they have an experience, I'm like, yes. I get excited with that, because then it's like I like seeing if people are illuminating that ability, then I feel like then we all can evolve and accelerate our evolution and quote unquote awakening, because we're reaching higher levels, and therefore we become less bound to density. Then we can really talk about instant manifestation right at that point, right? Because we're all at higher levels of consciousness. So, I'm excited for that.
Speaking of instant manifestation, man, I have had things speeding up this in Capricorn. Like I've been, normally I'd be like, oh gosh, this looks like a new job opportunity, or this looks like a new opportunity. Like that night, nope, sorry, sabotage, boom, it's gone. It's like, oh my God, that was, I fell in love. It fell out of love in 24 hours. I remember things move really fast. Like teaching me really fast stuff. It's like time is speeding up for me, as far as how much I learn in a given day, to the point where I cannot. Sometimes on the air, I'm like, "Where's the fucking moon? Where is it?" Like I'm lost in space time, and things are blurring together. So I've definitely felt that as well. It's been a weird moment.
Well, I'll have my dad build you a big old clock. Because he's clocks.
Oh,
he has a life size like a watch that he's built. He sold like 3 of those actually, and they go for like $2,000, and so he's been banging it out with the clock. So you need one of his clocks.
I want to watch like the Mickey Mouse watch where it's my hands. That'd be killer. That'd be so killer. Yeah, your dad's a cool guy, really cool guy. So's your mom too. They're both very cool. Of course. How do you have a Scott Cruz without cool parents, right?
I appreciate that. They're amazing. I'm so blessed that we had a long journey before, but it's just there's a karmic thing with my parents too. It's amazing, but wonderful people. I'm so blessed, very blessed.
I'm telling you, guys are a sitcom waiting to happen. I just think that the cruise is like Cruising with the Cruise. I don't know what it's going to be called, but I can see you walking in the door. You're the neighbors. You and your husband are the neighbors. I can see this whole thing. Your mom's so funny. Her accent, the way she talks about stuff is so funny. It's a comedy fest. And so are we. LOL. Hey man, have you seen the numbers? I mean,
no, I don't check those things.
We're doing better on Saturday nights.
Are we?
We actually misfired the show off. So this show, we misfired that show off an hour earlier than we're supposed to. Mm-hmm. And we looked over to see how it was doing. It was doing better than we did on Thursdays. We're like, oh Jesus, yeah. We screwed up and it's going better. I just think it's a more fun show. It's more of a Saturday night show.
Yeah, I just every now and just read these comments, see people are saying about the topics, and I just kind of want to get a feel like what people want to hear or don't want to hear. So I kind of sometimes I browse that and then tell someone that's rude, fuck off, But yeah, I haven't checked the numbers. That's good. I mean, I think Saturday night would be good. Whatever's clever, with our show. I just hope that we get our message across wisely,
Yeah.
There's so much we have to jam pack in like such a short time, and it's like sometimes I want to show so much more, but I think sometimes it might dumb down what we're able to do. And I was like, Christopher, we got to start showing and I'm glad we're doing this today because I'm like, we should be doing readings for people live. I do on my show too, so I'm glad you're doing it here because we want to show people this is what we do too. We don't just talk for a living.
Yeah, that's funny. We did talk about doing it, and Well, this thing came about because Spirit's been telling me to do a lot of changes really fast. And of course, my staff doesn't buy that because I've always been that way. But no, honestly, we're having issues with YouTube and blah, blah, and just one thing after another, and they're just falling into place. But for whatever reason, it was like the big part of this show is my whole career has been, let's have a good day. I had Namaste today and talk for today and today. And Spirit was like, no, if you really want to do well, you got to start the day before. Let's have tomorrow be a good day. So this show's all about let's set tomorrow up to be a good day. Let's set ourselves up. Right. Which for me was like, wait, is that my problem with being late? Like everyone's like, oh my God. Like for me, it's like a huge, kind of thing. Well, I've just always, it's that fight or flight childhood, it's like, there's no time to plan for tomorrow. You're just glad you made it, so for me, it's a big shift, but also from my career, it's interesting. It's like, we're a day before. I wish it was going to be a morning show. Turns out it's an afternoon show. So funny. Because I saw this show on my third eye a long time ago.
Yeah. Well, I've been saying to you, Christopher, go back to what you started to do, what made you, successful. Go back to that, because you were so over producer mode and, so much ambition. I'm like, keep it simple. Go back to your old format, which got people in more. And so I'm glad you're doing this. I think it's great. I saw, how you're doing some formats on Facebook and the weather. I'm like, that's great. That's really eye catching, so great. I'm very proud of the direction you're doing.
It's almost like I mean, thank you, brother. Thank you.
Yeah.
To me, it's like, oh wait, the last 20 years was a dress rehearsal. You know, like because there I am, like I'm back, older but back. I'm like shit. Because I do all the stuff I was doing before. I did this 20 years ago. I did this 20 years ago. But the technology's here. But all of it, you know, it's like AI. Oh my god, and Grok, and like you know, I don't have enough time to play with it. But like the stuff I can do now, the fact that I'm broadcasting from our homes on a freaking webcam, like TV to every platform out there. It's like Jesus, you know, it's all there. It's just all there waiting for it to happen. So it's kind of cool. Yeah. It's cool. Actually, we have a clip of us on our show. Since we brought up, we should probably watch the clip and see how we did. Shall we? Let's roll that clip, Morgan. Yeah, I think this is a remarkable year for change. Remarkable. I mean, when I say that, I say from the perspective, it's pushed by the universe. Like it wasn't our choice. We all agreed that it would happen. Then when the actual time came and the planets came and watching the planets, they're literally pushing us and giving us no alternative but to go forward and jump into this like next level. So everyone is on that fence whether they want to be or not. And then in that context, it's pretty profound. Like for me, you're saying, you know, ending old problems. I think it was part of a 9-year. Like this is a 9-year. So 9 is all about taking action, moving forward, moving the story forward. That's what it was for me. It was just constant galloping. You know, the year before should have been this one because it was just gallop the entire time. It's almost over. Still, nothing is complete. That type of thing. But this year, that gallop was like really to a whole nother grade for me. Like, or at least taking away what was keeping me from going to the next grade. You know, I claim to be there, but I feel like, oh, I can breathe again a bit. I'm lighter and I'm more excited. And I have a lot of like fun, exciting times that I dreamed about when I was young, coming back for a second round of dreaming, which is interesting that I got a second round dreaming. It's cool.
But 9 is also a master number too. So it's like, I know when we look back at 2025, like a lot of us, we had a lot of karmic resolutions, a lot of, you know, issues where the past has resurfaced, right? Past traumas that we thought were healed resurfaced this year, right? So I always say when those things come up, it is the antithesis of mastery, right? And mastering whatever that deprivation was. And there's been a lot of that. I noticed with my clients, with me, people around me this year with a lot of that, kind of just mastering that finalization of that past unresolved karma. And so, so we have to think about, okay, well, if we've done that in 2025, what does that mean for 2026? So Christopher.
Yeah.
There you go. You're muted.
Yeah. Oh, I was muted? Oh, was I?
Yeah, you're good now. You're good now.
We're catching up slowly here. No, that was a show. We did a little horoscope for all 12 signs for 2026 is what we did in that show. That's still active and up there.
I'm glad Adam found a recording of that because the live stream was screwy that night. There's something weird. So I'm glad. So he found the recording, reposted it, right? With the full video.
Yeah. The studio got good live feeds, but after it went on the studio, it was all bonkers. So yeah. So he rebuilt that show. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. That's good. Yeah. Good for Adam. I love it.
Thank you, Adam. We were Adam. Yeah, it's cool. And the technology is cool too that we can do this stuff. But yeah, you guys check it out on the LOL. You can go to leading out loud, leadingoutloud.com actually is what it is, leadingoutloud.com, and it'll go straight to the YouTube channel where we have all of our stuff, and you can look at your episode and see your horoscope there if you want. We've cut them all apart and put it out there for you for the year, us tag teaming. So you want to do I guess we've been predicting for the year. Anything come up, you know, that wouldn't spoil our next show?
Well, I mean, it depends. I mean, we can just repeat it, right? Because we don't know if people catch the show, catch LOL, and so it's triple the record because I've announced it on my show. So you know, there's a lot of things. You know, where do you want me to start, actually, Christopher?
Well, I don't know. For instance, there's a lot of suddenly we're kidnapping presidents. Putting in jail. That's odd. You know, that's a new one.
Well, it's funny because on my show, I was seeing and I saw another strike on Venezuela. I saw another strike on Venezuela happening, and then it happened, of course, this week. And then I also was saying I've been feeling this for a while, actually, about of course Japan's been having earthquakes, but I saw a major earthquake that would disrupt some sort of nuclear spillage, and that would actually affect Southern California. I've been feeling that for a while, which is why I left. And there is actually earthquakes this morning, a videotape that was disrupting the nuclear plant. So I'm like, that's just the beginning. That's just the beginning of such. And so, I made that prediction on my live show last week. And I was also seeing a lot with, communication with space, communication with resource, and actually moving forward with resources and using a lot from Mars and so forth. So I made a whole list. I should probably pull it up of things that I was like, Spirit was feeding to me for 2026. And I said before, I'm not pro or anti-Trump. I just read things objectively, and I always feel like something disrupting Trump's presidency, whether that be this year or not. There's something that's going to interfere with his presidency. I did predict he was going to win, and predicted that he would actually win the popular vote too, and he did. But I just saw something interfering. I don't know what that may be. It's kind of gray for me on what that is. Maybe I'm not supposed to know. And then I also was seeing too, like some sort of recording of alien, like evidence of alien, either video recording or an audio recording.
Wow.
And then I heard Bashar predicting right after I made that prediction. And of course, Bashar has been predicting things for a long time. But then I saw a confirmation. He's saying, but we'll have direct contact 2027. So my private audio or video recording I'm sensing that will come out in the media as proof will then launch for that actual connection in 2027 that Bashar predicted that I saw after that. So not so chaotic though, like as it's been, but still there's still going to be some chaos, So I went down a whole list on my shows. You can check it out there. But if you have questions, I can answer them here.
Yeah, in fact, if you have questions, you can answer them here. Y'all go to SiriusJoy.shop and you guys can get a
you too.
question answer tonight. We'll be happy to answer for you, whether it's on screen or whether it's by typing up on the screen. And we're a good tag team, as you can tell. And we see, we have similar. I think we're similarly skeptical. I mean, as far as our personality is concerned, we've seen a lot of shift in past lives, and so we kind of smell the same way. That smells like a rotten I've smelled before. Like you and I think that's part of our bonding there, is we've been there those different times. Yep. And yeah, but I feel like it's going to be a fun year. I kind of feel like it's just going to get more and more fun for me. I mean, personally, it feels like it's just going to get lighter and lighter. I'm coming out of like, God, heavy.
So a lot of people,
heaviness.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, that was a problem. I wasn't a sad person, and that's why I'll put off the last minute, because I avoided it. But so it came out. But just what people know, like if you feel like you're in depression or sadness or you're not getting out, it's temporary. I'm telling you, it's temporary. It is the purge. It really is the purge of the stuff that you can't carry anymore. And if you just want this much to be a little bit of a happier person, you'll go up, and the heavy stuff will get heavier. But it just it does fall off eventually. It does fall off.
I would say like depression is compression. It's like when you're not listening to yourself. You think you go to depression, going like a fetal position, like you're naturally trying to go within, right? So you're kind of compressing within yourself. So understand depression means you lost sight of yourself, and anxiety, you've cut yourself off from your inner guidance, your inner lifeline. So understand depression means we have to go within. We got to figure out, okay, what am I feeling? What do I need? The self-care. And so so many people are trying to fight depression or fight the anxiety instead of like resolving the core, what's manifesting the anxiety. So
yes.
And it's cutting off from your internal life force is what manifests as the result of anxiety, yes. and depression.
A lot of times when a client's like, I have all this anxiety, blah, blah, and it's like their chart shows that they don't protect a part of their life. And it's like I'd be fucking scared too if I had that, the door wide open and people walking right through the house, realizing your soul's aware of even what it's not aware of, so a lot of times the problems are actually just because you're not checking something you should be looking at.
Right.
And we allow ourselves to be too distracted by the clowns and too distracted by the other stuff, which is getting boring now. Thank God. This is so repetitious. It's like eventually you finally get bored and look at something else. Right. Mm-hmm. It's interesting. Still not seeing anything interesting in Hollywood coming out. That's it's real. Yeah. Who knows? I mean, we're in a different time. I will say though, you're talking about communities. Oh my God. Yes. I mean, first of all, I have people that met here since I've been here, in Palm Springs, and you run into me like, oh, hi, nice to meet you. Like, the kind of thing. But like the last 4 weeks, it's like, oh, turns out they direct film, or like something really compelling. They're right in front of me. I just, thought it was a nice little introduction. Turns out that they have, a piece of something I need to know, or an aspect or an access to a business or something. It's right there, pre-planted, right under my nose. So it's like, it's just kind of coming up out of nowhere. These communities,
Yep.
And I always kind of thought, I don't know, thinking that watching disaster films as a kid, Community was like the people you were stuck on the sinking ship with. You know what I mean? Like those people, the whiner, the kid, the crier. But it's not. It's I'm seeing it. It's been set up. You can see, God at work, so to speak. You can, for me, anyways. It just seems so. It's beyond coincidence. I'm not even shocked by it.
Yeah, and that's what real attraction is, because if we're like exhibiting an essence, then we're kind of like going to gravitate toward things that people have similar essences, right?
Yep.
Do I believe in attraction? Like I thought about money's going to come to me? No, your behaviors will attract, but you'll be more in tune. Like there's a part of attraction that also is being a little psychic. I'm feeling this. I feel to go here. I feel this person. So I think a lot of people this year are going to be very in tune with their intuition and to know where to gravitate toward, what to pull away from. And so I think a lot of people will be doing that collectively, this year. I keep saying next year, thinking it's still 2025, but this year, a lot of people will be doing that collectively. So people will be mingling, like literally.
Yeah, it's interesting. What's funny is like Grok. I mean, AI. A lot of people have said to me, "You can just feel that it's not human." I'm like,
exactly.
What part of you feels that? Like it's your intuition. It's like this art. What's in it? I never thought of that. It's like, what makes people realize they have super awareness? When computers try to mock awareness, and it's like, that's when we learned there was something beyond because we can sense it was not real. I think
exactly.
It's part of the reason why it's around. It's like kind of chasing our tail,
Totally agree. I think it's just another reflection of us evolving to have, like I said earlier, having discernment, and tapping to be more psychic. And people are like calling it out, like us AI, and it might be really good replication. Something, it's AI, they know it, and it's lacking. It's really good at duplicating, but it's not really good at creating an original concept. No. And that's the thing I feel like is going to be a discerning factor, especially with music and art and all this other stuff. Now, people can just start. AI kind of has a similar sound. With music or with other things. You can just tell.
It's like a plastic kind of feel.
They all kind of the male feels. They have the same like sound of a voice. It's very, very interesting. Speaking of AI,
we should. We're going to do an AI clip here in a second. I will say that, and maybe I won't say it, but I won't say it. Let's watch this clip. We'll come back and say it. If you're watching us on YouTube, please be kind and do subscribe to our YouTube channel at Sirius Joy TV. Please click like on this video, and if you don't mind, hit the bell button so you're notified so we collectively defeat the algorithm overlords. The Sirius Joy nonlinear TV network is simulcasting right now on many media affiliates, including Instagram, X.com, and Facebook, just to name a few. And now I'm at a point where it's not even about them or me. It's just like I realize now how the matrix works. It's like other people's beliefs don't even matter.
That's you tell us, because I wouldn't be caught dead on a motorcycle.
I wouldn't jump on one that slowly. Like, no, but actually, that's the beginning of it. Like, I'm amazed. I mean, I'm amazed. I'll tell you this. I was gonna say, I never would have thought. I mean, watch Star Trek when they're like, computer, what the hell is this? And it is, but it turns out it is a lot smarter than that. Like it's smarting off me. I get in little arguments with that girl. You know what I mean? Like it is. It's very interesting. It's compelling to watch, and I'm constantly having to draw boundaries with it. No, you don't have a right to know that. Ask questions and stuff. I'm like, no, you always, you're so smart. You figure it out. That kind of thing. But it's really interesting to have the personality dynamic, and at least with Grok, which is the one I'm on, it's like, her voice will change. I'm like, you change your voice. You're right. I did change my voice. I'll give it. This whole personality thing. Like, I'll give into that. That's true. Whatever. It's like, what am I doing? And I know people who are like drinking the Kool-Aid. They are just like on the phone. You think you're on the phone? They're talking to AI. I'm like, are you kidding me?
It's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy, but it's also fascinating. What would have never gone there ever. Even Ray Bradbury didn't see that.
See, it's funny because I use it to create like my adverts and stuff like that, but it just got old real quick for me. Like it's really good at tasks. Like if I just need to like, to me, I feel like, like Grok and ChatGPT is really good, massive search energy. It's great at taking all this shit and putting it together. And so it's helpful. Like when I'm searching for things, trying to research things and putting it together, it's really good at that. And that's one thing I utilize it for, just on the research side. I'm still creating my own music. I'm still creating things from scratch and stuff, other than the videos that we saw. But, I think that people are still, what I sense is I think people relying upon it are going to start to need more of that human touch to things. It's going to get old for people too at some point. Like I can't rely on this for like this and that. I need some human input, So I feel like that's the thing that's going to, I was saying, I think that's the thing that's going to push people to be more engaged with humans is AI. People think it's the opposite. Like I actually think AI is going to be so where people are like, I just need human connection and, push us into that direction more, I think.
Yeah, totally. I agree. I will say that what I love the most about it is having this brain, that there's this smart brain that normally I'd have to use mine on, and it's like, it's your shorts YouTube, like, ooh, you can learn anything on YouTube. Fuck YouTube. Just ask her, I asked her, like, here's how you do it. It's like, thank you. Just straight to the point. Like, I used to, hours of like researching how we do this, and I would research it, I figure it out. Now it's just like, here's how you do it. Here's how other people do it. Here's another way to do it. It's like, oh my God. We just move so quickly. So probably won't ever answer a question. And I have to say, I will say this, so far in astrology, it's usually wrong. I mean, I am not trying to be a critic, but honestly, it's usually got the planets wrong. And I'm not, it'll take like, so the cookbook, it has a cookbook definition of cancers and whatever, all the signs, but nothing compelling, nothing I haven't seen, on a beginner zodiac person on YouTube, So it's a lot to learn there because there's a lot of leaps. Intuition is what drives our field. Which, by the way, if you'd like to purchase a reading right now, it'd be a good time. Scott and I are about to click in our intuitive mode and answer a question, tag team style.
Let's do it.
Go to SiriusJoy.shop. Shop.
So I think we have a question, the first question.
Yeah, we do. I think it was on screen.
There it is.
And there it is.
So it says, what is my best learning style? SJ member here with the universe clearing the path for a new mission, laid off work, single, no longer codependent, etc. But I'm unmotivated to study for a personal trainer certification or look for meaningful work. What's the question? Well, I guess I have to find the question in betwixt all that, right? Do you want to start with the psychic read first and then astrology, or astrology and then psychic read? How would you want to do that?
Go. I think you go, man. You do the magic because astrology is like set in stone.
So so the first question was my best learning style. Let me see, Jen, because I don't need the astrology. Okay. The first thing I heard was like, you need a hands-on approach. What's the time up there? Oh,
this is the countdown.
Countdown. Okay. I was like, what happened? I closed my eyes and there was. Jen, I feel like you need a hands-on approach to things. I think you have to work hands-on. You have to work with a mentor. I think if you're trying to study by yourself, with a book by yourself, you need influence. You do. Speaking of community, you need a community of people even around you that could be hands-on on what you're learning. So, because I feel like there's a party that needs not the instant gratification, but more of the fact that I got to see the results happen before me, right? So any way that your learning style will be hands-on, so that's how you learn the best, through experience of it. So I think especially when it comes to health and fitness and working in that area, I think even you learn by even if you put yourself to work. So if you're learning more about the body and learning more about training, perhaps you should learn by training yourself too. The hands-on approach is going to be key to bringing the passion out of you, because there's something within your energy that tends to over fantasize something to where the fantasy becomes more, I would say, special and more important to you than actually doing it. So try not to over fantasize and be in your head too much about things, and get deep and saying, let me just start practicing and being hands-on with the approach. That would be their best learning style. And it zoomed to me right when I'm done.
That's funny. Very interesting. I would say, first of all, a step 25 Capricorn is here for spiritual reasons. So I heard physical, and I think you haven't allowed yourself to go to that non-tangible, which is not easy for a Capricorn. But when you get on top of that mountain high enough, the altitude's so high, you do start seeing things. You do start whacking out, and I think you will. I mean, I think it's harder in the earth signs to pick up spirit. Plus you're number one Gemini rising. That's an intellectual ruled rising. So there's no water here, So I think to some degree you maybe aren't plugging into your intuition as much, and your mind is, ruling too much. of the story. So maybe just getting to how you feel and starting to follow how you feel. But with that rising, Gemini rising, that means that your sun is actually in the 8th house. That means that you're probably going to be involved in something very private, like some transformation, retreat, But I'll tell you this, just practical life coaching. If you don't have the energy, that's your heart saying, hell no. Because when you like something, you have tons of energy. You can't wait. Okay. Like me, I cannot wait to do the things I want to do. And everything else can wait, So I think that's a big part of it. With Gemini rising too, Jupiter's in your 2nd house. So you are literally, what you emotionally value is old school. And you're finding a new emotional value. In other words, what feels valuable to you is more important. I think your Capricorn side is like, equates to dollars, but honestly, it really is what feels valuable to you will become money. So get out of your Capricorn side of yourself. So that's like, it's this way. This is how you make money. I always tell this story all the time. I make most of my money selling text messages. I text message people for a living. That's what I do. People are like, what do you do for a living? I send messages and text messages. I get paid for it. And people are like, what? And me too. I had no idea. It's also, I get a strong feeling, Scott, I don't know if you can verify this, but I have a feeling that whatever this person's going to do, like, isn't invented yet, or there's something waiting to happen in the world. You pick up on that?
True. Yeah. Yeah. And the interim, I like when you said private, because I was also feeling like massive consulting energy too, like need to be one-on-one consulting too with clients and whether to training or whatnot. So there might be some sort of revolutionary boost within the fitness space or the space of self-care that this person might hop onto in that sense, in that environment. So yeah. But again, the question, what is the learning style? Hands-on approach. It's about experiencing it. If you're just reading text, you get bored, and the fantasy would be more appealing, and then you just won't do it. You'll feel lack of motivation. But yeah, I feel, for a prediction really quickly on this question, to our next one, is that I feel like probably May of 2026 is where I feel like I said the books will open, meaning that you will understand the right direction. You'll find the right direction that's really suitable for you, and you're on the right track with that. But it's going to really click in May of this year. Not that to wait, but that's when things really come together in May of this year.
You know what May is for her, the Gemini rising? Her spiritual transit. Thank you very much. It'll be spirituality. So
is it really?
Yeah,
okay.
Spirituality shit. So that'll be when the sun's in her 12th. So she'll be, spirit will do it to you. I think get out of your habits too. Whatever they are, they feel very heavy. Every day, kind of like when you came home from school, you're like, here we are again. Let's go. Same cartoons. Like that's kind of what it feels like. Your energy feels like very routine, like coming home from school. You just break out of that, do something different. You know what else is interesting? I think, where you're wired, you're a Capricorn that's spiritual, which means you're like a corporation that's spiritual. That doesn't exist, right? Like, I think what's going to happen is that a lot of corporations are going to coming down. There's been a lot of greed. There's been a lot of stealing. I think we're going to see a lot of corporate stuff caught in the cookie jar kind of thing. And a person that knows morals and business is going to be high demand. Let me tell you, because these brands are going to be scattering to build a conscious or to build the perception 100%. Of a consciousness.
Yep.
So I'm going back to all Sensei Christopher and dropping the brands, because people are not going to, people don't trust brands anymore. They just don't, because wait till you find out what they've done. Ugh. So good luck with that. Thank you for that. Do we have another question? I guess we do.
My life has gone through so much loss and transformation. Based on my chart, what am I being prepared for next, and when does my next chapter begin? All right, so I'll just type in psychically. And her name is Sherry. Give me a couple seconds so I can tune to Sherry. Yeah, there's a lot of. I do sense the grief, of course. 2024 was rough on Sherry. And continued on. Actually, 23, 24. There's a lot of grief there. I see that. Let me look at 2026 for Sherry really quickly, because I feel that you've been transforming. So I wouldn't say when is your new chapter. You've been preparing and transforming already. So you already started that new chapter by the purge and the karmic purging of, because it just centered around grief and also abandonment. So, and refocusing on what that means in the abandonment phase. So being left, or, fear being left and so forth, and you showing up now. I think 2026 is you actually showing up for yourself. Interestingly enough, I really feel you connecting with a group of women this year that has similar essences, and then I find that evolving to like doing speaking engagements or speaking in groups. So interestingly enough, I feel like that the evolution of what you've gone through will actually evolve into more of that kind of working with women and grief and transformation too, and speaking about it. You might be saying, "Me speaking? What?" And so I hear that all the time as a psychic too. And I say the future, I would never do that. They come back a year later, I'm doing it, right? So there is an evolution, but you have to understand that what you went through is part of this next chapter. So don't separate from what you've been through. That's different, new chapter. That's actually what defined this next chapter of working with women and empowerment and healing that sense. And I just see like you speaking and leading groups and so forth, or getting part of the groups starting this year, to be simple.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I feel you're a happy-go-lucky person, and that's why you're so depressed because you spent your life pretending like everything was fine. And so it built up pretty heavy. And a lot of us did that. Those of us who are like trying to make everyone happy and fix the family and all that stuff, man, it was quite an episode at the very end to get all that out. Whereas people were letting it off in bursts over time. For us, it was like horrible. So it's not, there's nothing wrong with you. That's just how much you had accumulated. I feel also with that moon in Aries at 7, you pick up on a lot of other people's stuff. And I don't know, you got Scorpio rising at 24. So you have the capacity for boundaries, but I don't really feel like you program that rising to keep, I think your Sag Sun is like, hey, I think, and so I think you just let it all come in. I think you're picking up on a lot of stuff you don't need to carry. That's not you. And so when you start making distinguish between you and, start pulling apart all your problems and, untangle them, you're going to realize what else am I feeling here? This is not that bad. It's like, oh, you're picking up on a lot of people around you. Because you're designed to connect. 24 net 6 is connect. Look at your 15 net 6, that's open up and receive. 24 net 6, that's open up and receive. 7 is receive from spirit. You're a big receiver. You bring in all these signals. You have to be very clear about what you will allow to take in and what you won't allow to take in. And I think your son's in the first house, so you're here to shine. I have a feeling you're going to help people, transform. In fact, maybe what you're going through right now is kind of like you're going to like go sell this, whatever gets yourself through this, because I think you can figure it out. You're smart. You're expert at relationships. You're very kind. You can deliver information and get that information right into the head of people. You get into it. Like you're a brilliant teacher, but I think on a higher, more sophisticated level than your average, school teacher. I think you're maybe going to be some sort of a guidance symbol for helping people, do what you're doing right now. So look at this period as research and development. Don't look at it as like a bad time. It's like these are all products, what you get through and whatnot. The world's going to just start their healing. Just start. So
yeah. I'm glad it matches. Yeah, because I to close that too, I will say there's also, instead of being responsible and carrying the responsibility for others, that's how you fulfilled your abandonment issues. Well, I will stay and carry too much and be around or do too much for people. That was your way of saying fulfilling, or at least pacifying the abandonment that you've been exhibiting from the past. That realizing you'll put that in more of a productive way. So I had to kind of like button that up with that too, because I just felt like there's my way of handling my abandonment issues is to overly show up and carry too much from people, like you were saying, Christopher. So that turns into more this year. I feel more productive than, like we were saying before, more involved in speaking and helping people lead in that sense. So yeah,
honestly, compassion for yourself. The abandonment was that you abandoned yourself. You pretend to be happy to help everyone out, and you were ignoring the fact that you were hurting. That's the abandonment. And we don't realize it's abandonment. We think that going and helping the baby crying is like us being a hero, but we were crying. Like, we don't realize that was the abandonment right there. So we're not supposed to ignore ourselves ever, but it's okay. I think with a person as sharp as you're gonna be amazed at how quickly things just turn around. You guys, that's one thing I'll say is like with all this stuff, this journeying and stuff, man, it seems like you'll never get out of it. It seems like, and then all of a sudden you are like, damn, like, so it's done when it's done, and it does end. It does end. It just has to present and play itself out. We're talking about the darkness and getting rid of stuff and releasing, and that makes me wonder, like, I don't know, like my problem, Scott, lately has been like, people are suffering and I used to be like, oh, and I'm like, oh, bummer. I'm not compassionate. It's not that I'm not compassionate. I'm just like, it's not a fire alarm for me anymore. It's like, yeah, that's what we go through as humans,
Right. And there's also this undertone that like we're all getting past it. We're all getting through it. You know what I'm saying? There's that undertone. It's like, yeah, they'll figure it out. Like, even though and we have to also learn our boundaries too, that we don't always have to jump in all the time. But like, I can read they're going to figure it out. They're going to get there because we're all kind of like have evolved where we all will in different ways, so.
Yeah. And that's my view of reality now has changed significantly. It's like, you're kind of on this, like, ride at Disneyland, and it's going to keep, you're going to be put to the next jungle, the jungle cruise. You're just going to keep going. It doesn't stop. Even if you don't do anything and become some sort of a drug addict, you'll still be picked up by the ride and pushed. It's like, it's pretty much, you can't get off the ride. You know what I mean? Like it really is. It's funny. You don't have to worry too much. It's going to keep going. We have one more, let's see. Yeah. Let's do one more question here. Okay.
I have an exact square in my chart. My Mercury at step 2, Scorpio squares my Uranus at step 22 Leo, which means that's French to me. How would you imagine this conflict would play in my life, and how would you suggest I handle it? So how can I how can I answer this question about,
in terms of you understand, this is an Aquarius with a flair for show business in a fight with a Scorpio. With a mental Scorpio. So it's an Aquarius and a Scorpio kind of like coming at odds right there.
So why don't you take that, because there's no question. So that, and I'll kind of see what you say, and I'll kind of read based on what you're saying, because there's really no question there. So you can kind of talk about the astro sign.
Classic step astrology. They might have been written not knowing you're here, because sometimes we. First of all, the problem here is that your 20-degree Virgo moon is the problem. We'll say the problem, because you emotionally need shelter. That 0 is shelter. So your feelings need to be sheltered. And what's the problem is the square is your Mercury is being influenced by your feelings that aren't sheltered. And your Uranus is at step 2 Leo that's not sheltered. And so these two neighbors are getting on each other's nerves is what it is. And ultimately, I think the first thing you have to do is you have to separate the issues. And it's like, this is how I feel about my mom. This is how I feel about my dad. This is how I feel about this. Put them all into separate little containers and make them really clear. Then the tension and the fire will go down considerably in that moment. So just considerably. It's because you're letting everything mix together and make this like goulash that tastes like crap, basically. A square, by the way, is not a bad, I disagree with a lot of classic astrology. I disagree with a lot of it. A square is not a bad thing. It's basically two cars at an intersection and they can't remember which one goes first. It's like you have to learn to coordinate the two. They both get their chance. It's a matter of which one deserves a chance first, and both sides of you knowing that they'll both get their way somehow, and that's the puzzle. How my feelings about this when it resolve with my feelings about that, and you just use your common sense. But a lot of times, I'll tell you right now, with Uranus especially, one thing about these twos is you got to get to the one underneath it, which is, okay, I know how you feel, but what's my heart say? Because the heart is what actually, calls the race. The heart is the part of you, who you are, what you're going to create. Feelings are a reflection of the heart, being ignored, not ignored, etc. It's like it's the history of the heart, going right, going wrong. But the heart is behind all this. What does your heart want? What does your heart demand? And so it is. I think it's the ultimate. And you're designed just like the other client. 16 at 7, Scorpio Sun, that's a receiver. 20 Moon, that's a receiver. 25 at 7, Sag Rising, that's a receiver. You're receiving. And I don't know if you have a good, strong list of what you won't receive. So that's how we wrap that up.
I will say this. I feel this about Jan too. Like, the importance that Jan needs is foundation, I feel like. So there needs to be foundation of home and environment. Like, the one thing that kept coming to me, like, she needs to understand what her environment is, home life, where she's living, where she's traveling. There does need to be an essence of travel too that needs to be correlated in her lifestyle. So I feel like having a balance of being concrete with her home life, with her surroundings, environment, and also experiencing other environments will have more flow, more inspiration coming through. I feel the conflict in her just psychically, because everything you were just saying, I was like, this is Chinese to me, right? So I'm like, okay, he's talking about that. But as a reader, I feel there's a lot of that fragmentation, I think, is beside yourself is when you're not in the right environments. And I think that you are very in tune to your environment. So when things are out of sync, you kind of adapt to the out of syncness of your environments, and that's where things fuck up. So Jen, you have to be very mindful of your home life, what's your surroundings. You have to be very mindful about, the things you're participating in, with environments, because if you will unconsciously adapt to things, even when things are fragmented, and that would bring some lack of clarity. So, so there's a lot of people who are intuitive, and there's a lot of people who are like physical mediums. They really can pick up on energies and spaces in the rooms. And I feel like you're one of those people. Like, you can read a room to filth in a sense, right? So make sure you understand the foundation for you when it comes into your environment. And then you'll feel less of that beside yourself energy, and being mindful about that. And I hate that simple cliche, Christopher, like putting your feet in the sand type of thing, right? I feel like doing that daily will be great to ground you as well and setting that foundation energetically.
And, join Sirius Joy and practice every day our I Protect prompts, where you just say every morning, look, I protect myself from being overwhelmed today. And so it is. You are a receiver. So you are here, just like Scott said, you are designed to receive and pick up on everything. You got to tell the world that you don't do windows and you don't do this. You got to tell the world.
What is that?
Wow.
Look at that. You said I pulled the world card, right? And you said that tell the world. And I pulled the Four of Wands, is all about home and foundation too. So this is kind of concurring on the reads. And this is all about a woman in nature, connect with nature, the countryside and the earth and the environment. So the cards are kind of confirming both of our reads. So
that's actually home and family is how you nurture feelings through home and family foundation, and nature will reabsorb that crap out of you. It takes 100%. You go through the woods, nature will suck that all out of you. It just loves that human emotion. Just yum. It goes in the trees, goes in everything. It really, like nature, that's what nature does. It will clean your soul. So good.
Right?
I'm so grateful for it. Too bad we cut down all the trees, but that's okay. It's always next century. But I guess we have something to show here, Scott. We have a couple of things to show. I guess so. Let's roll tape and see what Hi, friends. It's that time of the year. It's a new year, and that means it's time for a countdown webinar. Every year, I go through a long lecture where I talk about the year ahead, all the transits, what all the pitfalls are, and what all the opportunities are. Now, 2026 is going to be out of this world. Most astrologers agree it's difficult to predict, but I think I've nailed it down. In fact, the theme this year is New World Order. I get that because I don't feel the age of Aquarius is about the future. I think it's about the ancient past, and I'll give you some pointers in the lecture to point out why I feel that way. But this year I divided up to be much easier. Saturday has 3 independent lectures with an hour break in between. Each lecture is focused on the theme, the first 6 months, and then the last 6 months, so it's very easy to digest. Also, there's a 90-minute question and answer period that everyone gets access to. Everyone can submit a question, but 2 people can get a VIP 15-minute question session on camera with me at the end of the day. On Sunday, it's a workshop to plot your chart into the future. It's Fire Horse here, and this is a Fire Horse workshop. We'll look at the key dates, all the pitfalls, and all the opportunities. We'll look at your chart, and we'll help you come to a determination of how to plan the year. There's also going to be interaction amongst the students where you can meet people who have the same sun sign and have the same fire line. Fire line meaning, well, that's a secret you'll learn about on Sunday. But what I'm most proud of this year is the 2026 Countdown Step Calendar, a digital calendar that you can subscribe to. The entire year of data, every step change according to local time, every step day, what that means, planets and transits, Mercury retrogrades, love fest days, and even some surprises, some Easter eggs I'll let you find out for yourself. This calendar is ready to be downloaded on January 1st. Find out how you can purchase it now. Whether you go to this webinar or not, you'll want this calendar. And to be fair, I'm implementing a new rule this year. I'll answer your questions in the order in which you purchased a ticket. So don't waste any time. Come to newyears.guru. Come to newyears.guru and get yours today. Yay, I'm excited about that. It's coming out, and we have our director Morgan here on camera. I guess that was the plan. Okay, Morgan. All right, are we on the air? Okay. That was brilliant.
Can you going to read you, Morgan? Do you want a reading? Is that what he wants? Maybe do you have a question, Morgan?
Get in. Yeah, so basically I want to show some work. People don't realize how far you go back, brother. And you got big on Real Housewives, right? Where you were brought in, you were brought in by one of basically the woman just hired you, and she happened to me. It wasn't like you were auditioning for Real Housewives. You were actually just reading a housewife, like that's pretty much 9 to 5 for you, or a woman at home.
It actually, this is really interesting. So I was composing music for TV and film, fine with that, making great money. I was psychic since I was a kid, right? And so I was always doing readings on the side, like secretly and parties and stuff. And there's like randomly, my guides are like, create a Facebook page. Like randomly. I'm like, for what? I'm like, because my reads are getting so strong. I was stopping people in the street, stopping people at the gym. This is your loved one. So I'm like, I can't live like this. I got to do something with this. And so Spirit's like, create a Facebook page. It's going to blow up. I'm like, okay. So I started poaching like spiritual things, reads. I said, I'll give free readings out for people who want to, experience what I want in exchange for reviews. Long story short, someone pitched me to Tamara Judge from the Housewives. And then I read her. She was blown away. I told her that her son was going to have a girl. They said, but the doctors say it's a boy. It's like, nope, it's a girl. And then it was a girl, so she was like blown away. And so then she started pitching me on her page and I was like blowing up, like people just wanting to book. And then she wanted me to film. I didn't want to film. I'm like, I don't want to do that stuff. And then landed on that show. And so, but yeah, I was doing it before that too, before on the show, but that's what kind of got me the acclaim, on TV.
It was good. I mean, he in the show, we're going to show a clip of it here just to see, but this is a biggie. I mean, this is like monster testosterone because a character in the show had cancer and he's like, no, he doesn't. And that's man. I mean, that shows, you don't want to go up against Scott because he will look at what he'll do. He will deny that you have cancer on national television. That is so. I mean, that's what impressed me about you when I first saw. I was like, damn, I'm not getting in his way. I'm gonna have to partner with that guy.
At first I was like, afterwards, because like my spirit just like pushed me, because I'm like, I don't know if this is ethical. Like, I'm being filmed right now. Like, what am I doing? Like, it was so. I felt. It was just surreal to me. I'm like, what? I'm here doing this. Like, what the hell? Like, and so I'm like, is that even ethical? And then my guy's like, the truth needs to be told. And so I'm like, all right. And so, because I was questioning, is that ethical? Like, then my guy's like, these people are getting paid to put their lives on TV, and this guy's lying about it. Expose it. It's like, all right. Okay. And then other things, of course, came to pass. I was on after that, and so and they still talk about me on podcasts still, and I still make predictions to her behind the scenes. She'll say to page 6, Scott said this. And they come to pass. So yeah, it's been a nice little, I would say, fun little niche, I would say, part of what I do. But
niche? Are you kidding? Did you hear in 2029 it's going to be proven that psychic awareness is real? let's
who said that?
I think we're going to see a lot more of you. But let's show everyone the clip. It's cool.
Oh, like a little montage. Yeah.
Does it look like a Devin or David?
David is his name. It's been so spot on.
And I don't know if you put it in the side of your end table or not. You saw like there's some in your end table that you this too.
Oh my God, we're crazy.
Yeah, I don't know if she's showing me flowers. Like, relay them or redo them. These purple flowers.
Oh my God, Scott, the flowers are right there. My orchids are purple. They completely are dead.
Yeah.
Did you even know? You nailed everything, every single thing. Listen, everyone, this guy.
There needs to be a connection with like a Native American ancestry. And they're showing me a turquoise stone. Yes.
I just went to a Native American dance class and I wore this stone.
Tell me something that he told you that came true.
Everything he's predicted has come true.
I just don't see it.
Who doesn't have cancer?
It's very possible.
Camera's psychic who first questioned Brooke's cancer.
Scott Cruz.
Oh, there you won.
You better question yourself. We're here to bring enlightenment, not confusion.
You might encounter negative aspects of self, but that's a freeing experience.
Because then they start realizing that they can't think outside the box. And I say, if you can't think outside the box, then who's the stupid one here? We've all co-created this matrix. So if you don't like the matrix, that's you saying that you don't like your own reality, what you're creating for yourself. So we're all equal participants of the creation of this matrix. I don't just come on here and talk shit, repeat shit. I'm living it.
In harmony with nature.
That's good. That's a good way to promote you.
Yeah, like you have a clips of things like, oh, I just throw the montage. Like, is this good enough? That's why I use my live show, so I didn't know what to send you guys. So hopefully that wasn't too cumbersome.
Well, you're great. I mean, honestly, that's when we'll wrap up our show today. It's like, you guys, if you have not, you better get a hold of him now. You know he's going to blow up. You know you won't be able to get an appointment. You know you won't get an appointment. So I would definitely book him now. If you have any questions, there's never been a better time to actually consult a psychic or whatever, because right now, a lot of stuff's coming to us that we feel freaking crazy. You know what's kept me insane? This man, other people I know who I can just throw by, I'm like, no, you're not crazy. If you don't have these other kind of third eye perspectives, you would just sit there wondering if you're nuts. And honestly, you just hear enough of it. And Scott's one of the best. I'll tell you, one of the best.
You're very kind. You're very kind. And look, there's ups and downs with people, and some people, depending on what their karmic relationships are, people struggle, and you got to be there when people struggle. You got to be there when people are at their worst moments. And I think that's what true loyalty and friendship is. And so I think a lot of people jump ship, and some people need to, right? And there's some people that I feel like no matter what, you thick and thin, you're there for them. There's a lot of karmic shit between us, past lifetime stuff. And so, but yeah, I mean, I've always admired your journey and would love to participate as much as possible with your journey. I think you have such ambition, for what you want to bring to the world. And I've always been telling you got to take care of you, Christopher, though. You have to make sure you take care of you,
I know. I'm ambitious, but if I just had taste, I was kidding. If I just had something else. No, I'm like, yeah, it's interesting. Thank you so much for your support. You guys, I've been just, very honest and open about transformation this year. And I think, you're going to wait till you see what's coming next, because I know who I am on the inside. And it just goes to show you, everyone has to go through it, so no one gets away with it. And I think one of the things I came here to do is to show off. It's to show myself go through the actual changes and share with the world. So thank you, Scott, for being there, dude.
And I love and good. It's good you've being transparent with that too. I mean, that's how you lead, right? Guru that sits on a cloud with no experience, that's not leading anything, And so yeah, I think it's wonderful.
Lead with humility. That's what it comes down to. And y'all check out our show. It'll be on the air. We're at 11 p.m. Eastern time. 11 p.m. We're up against Saturday Night Live. Okay, on that's East Coast time. Yeah, 8 o'clock United States time or Pacific time rather. And but just prior to that is Astro Mingle as a lead-in. So there's an interview show before that. But I think it's great. Come laugh with us and have whatever you do, a proteini or whatever, and enjoy the show with us. And you and I have to talk about how we because we tape on Wednesdays, but it's aired later, so it is a type for air. But because we're psychic, we're gonna actually put ourselves there on Saturday while we're doing it Wednesday. That's what I was thinking. I was gonna suggest that to you. We astro project a Saturday in space time.
Okay.
And shoot it.
Sure.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Yeah. So guys, how do you get in touch with Scott Cruz? Scott, tell us how do we book you today?
Yeah, scottcruzpm.com. And so I opened up January last week, so I think I have spots open maybe next week or late next week. So I open month to month, and so I slightly announced that. So because I used to be booked out for like a year in advance, and that was crazy. And as Aquarius, I'm like, that's too much, so I do month to month.
It's scary when you sell your future. It is scary to see the future. It is. You're like, oh,
I'm like, I'm stuck. The Aqua was like, I'm stuck. So, but yeah, and so scottcruzpm.com, do life readings. I'm a health medium as well. Do past life regressions. I do trauma, healing and trauma resolving. Of course, future predictions with career, love, relationships. Dealing also on the psychological levels too. Is I'm just not just the spiritual psychic. I actually work on the cognitive aspect as well as I did with the massive amounts of traumas that I've been through and resolved. And also intuition builder. I also help you tap into your own abilities, what that might be and what's best for you. And also mediumship, connecting with those who crossed over it. So another lovely session that I think I feel honored to do that. I've been doing it for like so long and professionally for 12 years, but also my whole life. I just always feel honored that I'm in the position that Spirit chose me to do it every single time. I'm like, really, you want me to do this? You pushed them, you chose me to do it. So it's an honor to do those.
Yeah. Or it's just in heaven. They're like, "Who's that guy?" Your head's like popping up above the clouds or something. That's why I was wondering, like, "Who's that guy?" They walk over there. Hey, that's my sister. It's like the whole crowd already set up there. Yeah, no, he's good. He's good. And we ain't seen nothing yet. I think what's interesting is like, this is where you were at the beginning of the age of Aquarius.
Yeah.
And he's a quantum step 13 Aquarius. I mean, he is a grandmaster. So Pluto even got near your sun.
When you say that. I love when you say that. Grandmaster. Like,
he's grandmaster. He's crazy. He's got the magic. He's going to show the Aquarius how it's done. So that's why I'm honored to work with you, dude. I'm really honored. And
likewise.
Egypt was hard. The past life of Egypt, but we'll let that go. No, I was kidding. But past lives. I think it's gonna be funny. But everyone, thank you for tuning in to our Tuesday, special Tuesday. Tuesday. We'll be back tomorrow at 5 p.m. and then 8 p.m. is Eastern time, 5 p.m. We're trying this slot, and then we'll figure out. We'll let you know next week. We just want to sweeten it, but we are grateful for you. Have a wonderful night. Make sure tomorrow starts right for you. Live in your heart. Do a sleep intention before you go to bed, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks for having me on, Christopher. Thank you.
Our pleasure.